This is Making Stitches, and this week we hear from Louise Armitage, winner of one of last year's heats in Kirstie's Handmade Christmas. She shares her creative story and how she first learned about her beloved Dorset Buttons.
We found an old lady in Dorset who had the tradition passed down through her family. It was actually in her family. They'd been properly passed down, the history, and she had all the notes on how to make all the different types, and she had no one to pass it down to anymore. So I wrote to her and see if she'd actually show me this tradition. She wrote back, and we were like, oh, this is very exciting. So my dad said, let's go on a holiday down there and see if we can go and see her. So I did. I wrote back to her and she said, oh yes, come down, I'll show you. And I went to visit her and she showed me the basic techniques on how to make them.
Hello and welcome to Making Stitches. I'm Lindsay and I'm really pleased to be back again with a whole new series of inspiring maker stories to share with you. Making Stitches may have been silent for a couple of months due to my commitments at home because of lockdown, but I've used some of that time to record some really interesting conversations with makers from the world of textile art and crochet. More on that later on though. This episode is dedicated to the art of Dorset button making. The traditional craft began in the county of Dorset in the south of England in the 1600s and offered a way of fastening clothing in the days before mass-produced machine-made buttons came along. I have to admit that until I watched last year's Kirstie's Handmade Christmas, I knew nothing about them. That changed though when I saw Louise, who's also known as Gini, create the most beautiful Christmas decoration using 5 Dorset buttons which signified the seasons of the year. That piece of work resulted in Gini taking home the trophy in her heat of handmade decorations. Gini's success led to a flood of inquiries and orders for her to make a huge amount of Dorset buttons in the aftermath of the show. Once her order book had calmed down a bit at the end of January, Gini had the time to speak to me for this episode. We started at the very beginning and when she first heard about Dorset buttons.
Oh, a long time ago. So I was at college studying archaeology, and my professor knew that I was very, very crafty, because every time we used to go out on field trips and stuff, I was forever sewing. In the back of his Land Rover, I was still sewing and doing, always some crafty and arty. And so he gave me this book that was on textiles, ancient textiles, and how about weaving and things like that. And he says, oh, you'll probably love this. And there was a little section in about how buttons were originally made, and it mentioned Dorset Buttons. And I thought, oh, this is fascinating. I thought, this is actually something I could really find out about. So I read all about it, and they were originally made in Dorset from horn rings and thread. And it started in the 1600s. It's actually 1622 by a gentleman called Abraham Case. He'd been to the war and seen soldiers repairing their buttons when they lost them by this method of sort of wrapping thread round bits of wood or anything they could find, wrapping thread round and trying to repair their own buttons. And he had this idea. He thought, hang on a minute, I think he sort of cottoned on to this idea. So he brought it back to England and thought he could make an industry out of this. And he sort of developed the idea, brought it back to Dorset, started the industry. So this is originally how buttons were made, way before machines could make, metal buttons and mother of pearl buttons, things like that. They were actually handmade. So he started this industry, and it absolutely took off because it's something that people can hand make at home. And he got people, farmers, particularly farmers' wives, to make them at home, because it's something you could do while looking after children. You can do them in winter hours, and you can do them at night time, because obviously farming, you can only do it when it was light at that time, and you can only do it in good weather as well. So he really cottoned on to something that could be done a lot in that time. So I thought, oh, this is really, really interesting. Being a total history buff, I thought, I wonder if you know, you can actually... I was so into archaeology at the time. I thought, I could really find out whether actually anybody makes these anymore. So I really delved into the history of it. I thought, there is actually people still making these. This is a traditional craft. I thought, I'm really fascinated with this. So I got into finding out about it. And I found out there are people still making it. So I thought, So I got into... got my professor to sort of start hunting around with me and wondered if there was anybody still doing it, and we did find people. There was some on the internet. The internet didn't sort of really exist at that time. It was so long ago. I was only 17, so we were talking like 30 years ago now, so it didn't really sort of, you know, there's no such thing as Google. You could just look it up. So we hunted around, we sent some letters out, things like that, and we found an old lady in Dorset who had the tradition passed down through her families. It was actually in her family. They'd been properly passed down, the history, and she had all the notes on how to make all the different types, and she had no one to pass it down to anymore. So I wrote to her and see if she'd actually show me this tradition, and she wrote back, and we were like, this is very exciting. So my dad, also complete history buff, said, well, we could go down and we could look at some castles as well. Let's go on a holiday down there and see if we can go and see it. So I did. I wrote back to her, and she said, oh yes, come down, I'll show you. So we did a holiday. We went and looked at castles, and I went to visit her, and she showed me the basic techniques on how to make them. So I started that at 17. I learnt all the basic things. I thought this was absolutely fascinating, but I just thought of it as a history thing at the time. I didn't really do much with it until a few years later. I thought, well, I just learnt it as a history thing. And then a few years later, I thought, I wonder if I could do something else with this. And I started making it with different colours because I found some pearl cottons. I was doing some crocheting with some different coloured pearl cotton. And I thought, I wonder if I could make Dorset buttons in some different colours. So I started experimenting in my 20s and making them into different colours and different shapes. And then I started thinking, well, you can make them into different patterns. And that's where the tree started coming out and making them into little flowers and bunches of posies and flowers and all sorts. And then I started making different shapes that they put faces on them and all sorts of things, and just sort of started really developing them. And then it kind of just took off, and I got a bit obsessed with them, and then I started showing other people, and other people were interested, and it's just absolutely gone mad from there, really. And I was surprised by how everybody else was interested in them, and it's never stopped since then, really. It's just gone on. And then in the recent years, I've done workshops. I've worked for the Knitting and Stitching Show, taught people from all over the world. I've done workshops in my shop. People want to know all about them, the history of them, where they've come from, what you can do with them. They just come from, all over the place wanting to know about them. It's everyone seems to be really interested in them now. And then developed them into like wall hangings and Christmas decorations for your trees. And now it's just gone berserk after the TV show. It's just everybody wants to know about them now. So yeah, it's gone crazy.
Your professor's got an awful lot to answer for, hasn't he?
I know. Unfortunately, he died years ago. It's like, and the old lady died as well. She was like in her 80s when she taught me. I know everybody keeps messaging me saying, can I go see this lady? I'm like, well, no. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, no. I mean, I was 17 when she was in her 80s, and now I'm like in my 40s, so no, she definitely won't be around. It's a real shame. I would absolutely love to have been able to go and show her the trophy.
I bet she'd be thrilled to see what, how big it's become for you.
Yeah, but she had no one to pass it on to. She loved to have shown it. It's been so nice. Yeah. And showing her what I've done with them as well, so how I've developed them and changed them, and sort of being able to pass on the tradition, because they're not on clothes anymore. So they were used on every type of clothes as well. They weren't just some people think because they see the old plain ones that they were used on underwear and, simple clothing, but they weren't. They were used, even royalty wore them. Some people developed the skills so finely with silks that, they were in different categories. They put them onto different coloured cards, and the really skilled people had them on, I can't remember which coloured cards they are off the top of my head, but there were like, yellow cards, pink cards, black cards, and signifying which card they were on, they were sewn onto was, the quality of which kind of button they were, so that they go to the right sort of export people. But, royalty and nobility had them, as one of the kings, one of the Georges, wore them on his outer clothing because they were so sought after at one point. They were sold for, was it like 400 years? Yeah, 400 years. They were sold with Dorset Buttons until machines came in and took over. So it's not, it was a long craft for a long time. It's and some of them were absolutely incredible with the buttons. They were so unique and so beautiful. It's a shame that there's none around anymore. I suppose because they're so delicate that barely any have survived. It's a real shame. It's very rare to come across them now, and if they are, they're usually the tougher ones. So that's probably why people think that they were simple and basic, because they're the only ones that have survived, is the tougher ones, unfortunately. So
well, it's funny you should say that they were used in more grand clothing, because actually I spotted on Bridgerton, there was a character on Bridgerton who had I can't remember her name now, but she had a Dorset button on, like closing it was a little jacket, like a bolero kind of jacket, and I thought, oh wow, there's a Dorset button. And that's thanks to you.
There are people that make them for TV, yes. Maybe it's becoming more popular now. But they definitely did make them for, very expensive ones as well, yeah. Some of the people that made them have been making them for so long, they became so skilled in it. Yeah, there's some very, very detailed ones with, I say they started importing silks from China just to make them, especially for, for royalty and nobility. So, yeah, they weren't just for underwear like people sort of have a perception for them. But, yeah. So you should have seen some of the people in Japan that make them now. They're absolutely incredible. I mean, Japanese artists now, they're so detailed, and they make them as well. Even just for show and for jewellery now, they're really skilled. Yes, even I'm kind of a bit wowed by their work.
That's amazing. So how did it come for you that obviously it became a hobby and an obsession very early on, but at what point did that tip over that it became your life, basically?
Let me think. I'd say, now I've just thought, it was probably when my daughter was born. I decided, when my daughter was born, we were in a quite comfortable position where I could be a stay-at-home mum for the first few years of her life. And then I opened an Etsy shop. So I started probably more professionally then, and my Etsy shop took off quite well. So I probably made a lot more then, and it started to become a living then. And then when she went to school, I worked in schools as well. And then, let's see, in the last couple of years, so we're talking about a year ago, I opened my own craft shop where I rent a shelf out to other crafters. And then it's become a full-time crafting thing now. Craft has taken over my life completely. And since the show, Dorset Buttons have become an utter obsession. It's day and night. Absolutely, utterly day and night is Dorset Buttons. Before it was all crafting, but everybody just wants me for Dorset Buttons now. That's just what I'm known for. There's nothing else anymore. I'd say in the last couple of years that my workshops have been a lot more orientated towards Dorset Buttons because everybody wants to know about them. So I've given up with mostly other workshops and just done Dorset Buttons because that's the most popular. Everybody around the world wants to come to the knit show and learn Dorset Buttons, really. They seem to be most fascinated by that particularly the history around it. When I do the shows, I don't just show them how to make the Dorset Buttons. They want to know all about it and the history, even how I found out about them. They want to know the techniques, how to fix things, what else they can do, what they can do with them. They just seem to be fascinated about all around Dorset Buttons. It's not just the actual making of them, it's everything about it. They just find it really interesting. And people then go on and do more and experiment with them. There's so much you can do. You can just try and do other things with them yourself, and it's amazing when people get back in touch with me and say, oh, I tried this, I had to go with this. There's somebody last week that got in touch and said, oh, I made the Dorset button, but I left the knots on the outside and then I crocheted around it. It's like, oh, that's a new idea. Fascinated. Yeah, so people love them. Just seem to fall in love with them. It's really nice.
It sounds like you're single-handedly trying to buck the trend of them dying out by spreading the word.
Yeah, definitely. I did say to that old lady, don't worry, I won't ever let it go. I will keep on the tradition. I think I've done that. I think I've definitely. I think she'd love it now. How it's become popular. Yeah, definitely.
Now, of course, I've got to ask you about your TV appearance. How did the opportunity present itself that you ended up being a contestant on Kirstie's Handmade Christmas?
I've been watching it since the beginning. I've always watched it. It's a fantastic show, isn't it? Absolutely. I love it. Especially, it just gets you into Christmas, doesn't it? And all the crafting. I mean, she's great anyway. I keep telling myself, for the last couple of years, I really should apply for that. I'd love to do that. I know I really should apply. And I've had this post-it note on my notice board saying, apply for Kirstie's Christmas show. Apply for Kirstie's Christmas show. I keep thinking, oh, no. And then I get around to it. My husband calls me last minute Louise. I'm terrible. I'm absolutely terrible for not doing things in time. Even though the world knows me as Gini. My real name is actually Louise. Gini is just short for ginger, by the way. I've been called that since I was a little girl, and just everybody calls me, and I'm just known as that. I keep thinking, I should apply. Anyway, this year, when Kirstie did her lockdown show, the Keep Crafting one, I sent some photos into that, and my Dorset Buttons got on there as featured on the programme. I'm like, we didn't realise. We were just watching. They didn't tell me they were going to be on. We were literally watching the show, and they just popped up. And all three of us, me, my daughter and husband, jumped up like, they're on the show. We were just freaked out. I'm like, if they like them, maybe I should go on the Christmas show. Oh, right. That was my motivation. I thought, right, okay, I'm definitely going to apply this year. I'm going to do it. So I did. I applied. And they phoned me back straight away and said, we absolutely love it. We love the idea. We really, really want you to go on the show. They particularly liked the backstory. And they loved that it was a traditional craft. They wanted to know all about it, all the background. They kept phoning me and wanted to know more detail and stuff. So I think they were really, really interested. They just loved that it was so different. Yeah, they'd never heard of it before. So they were really interested. Lots of phone calls. And I was straight on the show. So that's brilliant. We didn't realise, but when I got there, it was so different. It's not like it should have been, we were, you get there and you're not allowed out your car until you've done your temperature and, you've got your mask on and you're sanitised, and then you're led by one person to a separate tent, and it was so, spaced out, and you're not allowed to meet the other contestants from the other bits, and it was different. It was, but we still had a fantastic time. When we got there, we were looked after one person, and he said, you've no idea how incredibly lucky you are to actually get this far, because this year, obviously everybody's in lockdown, there were literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people that applied. There were so many, and he said it's literally taken us months to go through all the applicants because there were so many, because everybody's in lockdown, everybody's crafting, and so everybody applied.
Yeah.
So it was incredible. to get on. Yes, I was really surprised. I didn't realise how lucky I was actually to get on in the first place. So I was very, very grateful.
Yeah.
So a win for Dorset Buttons, definitely. Yeah.
Well, in both senses of the word. Yes.
Yes, actually. Yeah. I know, I'm still a bit shocked. It's still surreal. I can't quite sort of grasp that I've won. Yeah,
you looked genuinely shocked when it was
announced.
I was
absolutely gobsmacked. I did not in any way think I didn't think I was getting on the show, and no way did I think I was going to win. Absolutely not. No, it was a total utter shock. No, I just went through the whole program assuming it won't be me. I'm just happy to be on here. I'm just enjoying myself. I'm happy crafting, doing my Dorset Buttons. Never thought that I would win. Oh my God, no, not at all. I'm really, really shocked. That was a proper shock. And I absolutely burst into tears after that moment. I was proper floods of tears. I was like, oh my God. It was just hilarious afterwards. Everyone was taking photos of me crying, which was not particularly glamorous in any way. Which is even weirder because no one could hug you as well. Normally, I suppose everybody would be hugging you and stuff, but I was literally stood there 2 meters away from everybody else while they took photos of me sobbing. It wasn't glamorous either.
You mentioned the distance between all the contestants, but watching the programme, you really gelled as a group, didn't you? You had Hayley doing the crochet, and you had Paul doing his woodwork, and Sheba carving ostrich eggs, another quite niche craft, really. But somehow you overcame the distance and really seemed to get on.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, me and Dot are absolute best friends. We speak nearly every day. Yeah. We are completely gelled. We are of the same tribe, completely. It was fantastic being in the tent together. And Paul as well, even though he's so far away, we are, again, best friends as well. His wife is a bit poorly at the moment. I've sent her flowers, and we make each other gifts all the time. And we're always doing each other favours. We just gel so well. I think it's because we're all sort of the same kind of crafting people. We genuinely are. And we've made friends with people, even though we've never seen them, we've made friends with the other contestants. So, there's He's a Stitch that made the embroidery hoops.
Oh, they were beautiful on the tree, yes.
Yeah. Oh. He's good friends with us as well. He chats to us. The knitting show, there's the lady that made the historical knitted dress.
Yes,
we've
it's
made friends with her as well.
Medieval one.
Yes, yeah, we've made friends with her. Dot's great at stalking everybody on Instagram and make sure that they're our friends. She says. The gentleman who made the tailored stocking as well, she's made friends with him as well. We've actually, we said when all the virus is behind us that we'll meet up together. We were in separate tents, but me and Dot made so much noise laughing that the next tent to us that we're doing... Oh, the cooking! The turkey! The lady said afterwards, she messaged and said, I heard you two laughing, and I didn't realise it was you two until I've seen the show, and now I recognise your laugh. And now I know it's you. She heard us laughing so much. So yeah, it's we might see her in person one day. She can hear us laughing real life. Yeah, but she could tell we're having so much fun. Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah, the crew was fabulous. Kirstie's lovely. It was just the most amazing experience. It was great, even though we had to be apart from each other so much, and it was freezing as well. That's one of the experiences everybody says. It was so cold. Everything was outdoors. We turned up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was pitch black. We got lost. That's the first experience of Dot. And her real name's Hayley. Yeah. I think it will be on the show, but her nickname's Dot. She was lost. I was lost. We were on this little country road, and we slowly crept up to each other and went, "Are you on the show?" And she went, "Yes." Like, Shall we go together? Like, yes, please. That was our first experience together. Like, yeah, let's go get lost together, okay? That was the first time we met, and then we found the show down this country lane. We're like, oh, thank God for that. Yes. It's the weirdest way to meet someone, isn't that, lost on a country road? It was really interesting. Yeah, and it was outside the whole time. There was frost everywhere. It looks like we're having great fun on the show, and we're all happy, but we're absolutely freezing. We were literally shaking the whole day. We've got underneath the tables, we've got layers of blankets, hot water bottles, hand warmers, heaters pointing at us. The second the camera is off, we're throwing coats over ourselves and shivering and trying to keep warm. And as hands, obviously we're trying to do delicate work, and we've literally got blue hands and we're shivering the whole time. The first shot they did of us, where Kirstie comes out and says, "Hello, crafters," and she turned to me and said, "Good morning," and I went, "Good morning." And my teeth were chattering. And the entire crew laughed, and we had to do it again. We're like, let's put some more warm blankets on Gini, shall we? And we'll do that again. She's holding on to literally a mug of just boiling water to try and keep warm.
Oh, goodness me.
She never lets go of that mug.
I'll have to rewatch it and look for the mug.
Yeah, she's got that mug all the whole time. She never lets go of it. It was so cold.
God, I don't know how you... Because your Dorset buttons are so intricate. How on earth did you do that if you were shivering? I
think it was literally just like nerves. I've been making them for so long, like 30 years I've been making those French knots, that it's just repetition. I don't think I really realised what I was doing the whole time. You are rushing like mad. You're absolutely rushing. It's not really 4 hours of, relaxing crafting that you're doing, because there's so many interruptions. I think you probably get about 2 hours crafting really in total. Goodness. To try and actually get it done, and it's so nerve-wracking that it's not relaxing crafting. It's the most stressful crafting I've ever done in my life. And like, my hands were so cold, they were constantly cramped. By the time Kirstie came to do the bit when I'm showing her what to do, there's not much on my hands, because my hands were like claws. By the time I'd got to that part, I could barely move my fingers to do any French knots. Goodness. It was so difficult, so cold, and so I rushed so much that I could barely sew anymore. It was so difficult. It's not enjoyable, is the crafting part there. We make it look like it's fun and we're laughing, and you edit out all the bits where you could be swearing. I was stressed. But it's very, very difficult. It's not for the light-hearted, let's say. If you're easily stressed and you can't craft under pressure, it's hard to finish. It is very hard to finish. Yeah.
Wow.
Unless you can do it in your sleep, it would be hard to get it right. And doing delicate work like that is thank God I can just do them, in front of TV without even looking. And I've done them a million times. I'm glad to pick something that, I wouldn't go on and do something that I'd only done once or twice before. These are trees that I've done so many times, thank God, that, I could just do them really quickly. So that's okay. But yeah, it would have been very difficult if I'd not, practiced lots before. Because the interruptions they do as well, it's like, when they're filming, it's like, if you said something funny, they're like, "Oh, say that again. I want to film that again." And then they'll do it from another angle. Say, "Right, do it again. Say it again." And then they'll do it from Hayley's angle. It's like, "Right, do it again." And that's like, it could be 20 minutes. They've made you do it again. It's like, oh, goodness me. And it's taking all that time away from it. And then when they're doing filming Kirstie's part, again, it's constantly repeated all the time. So it's taking time away from you. It's not 4 hours of crafting at all. Goodness. You don't get actual 4 hours. It's kind of cheating.
That's amazing, because I was blown away at the fact that you created 5 Dorset Buttons, didn't you, for your finished piece? A large one and 4 smaller ones of all the different seasons.
Yeah.
Just to do that anyway, in a relaxed environment, but to do it with constant interruptions and not being able to feel your fingers, that just makes it all the more remarkable.
It was very hard work, I've got to say. It was difficult. The bit where on the TV I'm going, oh, done! It's like, that was pure relief. It was, oh, thank God I've actually done it. Yeah, it was total relief was that. It's all the reactions on the show are the real reactions. I am completely relieved. And the shock at the end when I've won it, that is real shock. All of it is genuine. There's no faking any of that. The looks on my face, and the laughing and everything, it's all real. It's not put on.
And what kind of a reaction have you had since you've been on the show then? Has your business kind of gone crazy and your social media?
It's gone absolutely insane. I couldn't believe it. I thought, I might get a few orders from this. I thought, this would be good. I might get a few Dorset Button orders. And it went absolutely rocketed. And I could barely count. It was insane. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of orders. And it's like, I've only got one pair of hands. There's only me. Luckily, I prepared. I've got a lot of kits that people can learn, all of different types of kits, and I've got lots of shops. I'm on Etsy and Amazon and eBay, and I've got my own website. So, and obviously, there would have been in my shop if my shop was open. Obviously, lockdown. But so thankfully, a lot of the orders have been kits. But equally, there's a lot of orders for Dorset Buttons. And there's only me that can do them, unfortunately. But I have had the shop, I've got my friend who runs the other side of the shop, and her husband and my husband have all pitched in day and night to make kits for me. So they do that on an evening through the day and the weekend, and they've been helping out like crazy. One problem has been supplies, because we had so many orders. It's like, where can we get this from? Oh my God, you need to go run out to the next shop. You need to go to this shop. We can't find this. Oh my God, this is only in Belfast. It's like, you need to ring this shop in Belfast. You need to get the next day delivery. It's just been utter chaos. It's just, it's been hard work, but incredibly rewarding. And I cannot believe how many people suddenly are interested in Dorset Buttons. It's wonderful. But it's been, the first few days was just like mind-blowing how many people suddenly wanted to know about Dorset Buttons. And the messages I got was incredible. Literally thousands of messages. I'm not exaggerating. There were thousands of messages saying, I'm so glad you won. This is amazing. I want to know all about Dorset Buttons. How did you meet this lady? I want to meet this lady. Oh God, how do I answer all these messages? It was insane. I was like, And at one point, after about a week, I have an order book where I write all my orders down in order, because I've got 4 different selling outlets. I write, as they come in, I write them in order, all the orders. So I make sure that everybody gets them in order, so it's fair. And these pages and pages of orders, I was just stressing out. I was crying every 5 minutes. I don't know how I'm going to do this. So my friend who owns the other half of the shop, Jenny, she just says, right, give me that book. Give me the book. I'm going to be the master of the order book from now on. You're not looking at that anymore. And she took the book off me. And she basically passed me an envelope every hour to make a Dorset book. Said, right, you're making a blossom one now. That's what you're doing. You're just making that now. And she said, you don't need to know what's happening next. You're just making that right now. Like, okay. And when I finished that, she's like, right, give me that back. I'm putting in an envelope. I'm doing the label. Right, next one. You're doing a winter one. Right. I'm like, okay. And she wouldn't allow me to know how many buttons were coming my way. She just literally told me what I'm making at what time of day.
That's brilliant. Yeah, so you could just live in the moment rather than just get completely freaked out.
Yeah, she just took all the stress away from me and just didn't tell me how many hundreds were coming my way, and just sorted it. And all the kits I didn't know neither. she literally just told her husband and told mine how many kits they were making, and they passed all the kits to her, and she just put them in the envelope, issued them out on the websites, and she just organised. She literally stopped her job, and her husband stopped his job. I mean, he's an art director for TV and film.
Oh, wow.
And he stopped his job and just worked for me doing kits. It's like, ooh.
Brilliant.
Yeah, she runs her own business, but yeah, they just stopped and did work for me for a few days, for like a week, and just organised me so I didn't have a meltdown.
Oh, fabulous!
Basically,
what great friends.
But thank God for them. No, thank God for friends. I know they are incredible. They're amazing. I don't know what I would have done without them. They are the best. Yes, they feed me and they look after me. So thank God. So it's all calm and I know what I'm doing, and it's sort of steadily coming in now. I've caught up with all the $100, and it's just a steady flow now. But it's keeping me going, definitely,
Brilliant.
But and I can answer the messages now without freaking out. And I've had some weird ones as well.
Mm.
Odd fans that want to be my friend forever.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Never met me, but they want to be my friend forever. They want to come and visit me, and it's like, oh my God. It's like, oh, okay.
Maybe not.
Not sure how I feel about that. But yeah, you get these people, odd people that have seen you on TV and watched you so many times that they think you know you kind of thing. I get that in the shop as well, because we do unboxing videos, and they're really funny. I didn't mean to be a comedian, but it just ended up being like that. And we do funny videos, and people watch us so much that when they come into the shop, they're so familiar with you, and we found this a bit weird to start with. And then we sort of worked out, like, oh, they've watched us so much, they feel like they know us, and they come in and start talking to us with us first names, and like, oh, I remember when you did so-and-so, and like, oh, this is really weird. And I feel like maybe some of that is the TV as well. They feel like they know you, and it's like start talking to you, and it's like, oh, this is a bit strange. Yeah. But some people have got in touch as well that are having a hard time, and they've told me lovely messages about how they've found a calm space in doing the kits, and they want to know more about it. And it's been there's been some lovely stories, and I've sent them little gifts of thank you and stuff, and there's been some really lovely touching moments as well, which is really nice as well. Mother Hen, who did the knitting, the historical knitting, she's got in touch yesterday and said that she's helping out a teenager who's got a little pen pal, a teenager that's going through a hard time, and could she have one of the kits? And I said, oh, absolutely, to help her out. I said, I'll put a little gift in for her. And so little things like that that's come from the show, and you just think, oh, it's really nice, little moments like that. You think, oh, that wouldn't have happened without that show. That's really nice, little touches like that. And you think, oh.
Yeah, being able to reach out to people.
Yeah, that's nice. If we can help a teenager having a horrible time, that's really nice. Yeah, I like things like that. Good things come from the show as well.
Definitely. Yeah. So, what does the future hold for Gini's Dorset Buttons, or have you no idea?
Well, yes. It's a bit difficult with shows and workshops this year, obviously. But, yeah, that will definitely expand. Definitely. There will be lots of workshops. It's unfortunate knitting and stitching show, I don't think I cannot see it going ahead much, but that was going to be a big thing this year. And the quilting show as well, I'm working with them as well. That's, I think, July, but I don't know whether it's going to go ahead or not. I don't know. It's a bit iffy. Knitting and stitching shows are usually November in Harrogate, I think. So it's possible. I don't know. So if you want to come and see me and learn how to do those sort of things, it could be going ahead there. There is 2 in London as well. They're like the biggest craft show in the UK. They are absolutely huge. But obviously it depends. But maybe next year, definitely. We'll see about working with other shows as well, because obviously if people want to see me in person. Also the Handmade Fair with Kirstie, fingers crossed, that might be a thing. And I'm hoping to bring a book out, maybe.
Oh, wow, that would be great.
Very exciting. Yes, I'm hoping. That's my plan, is to bring a book out. Because obviously books in the past with Dorset Buttons, they're a bit, let me say, twee. Not kind of my style. I'm a lot more modern and a bit more, let's push this a bit further into the, more my style. I'm more of a Molly Makes kind of person, a bit more, I'm not into the old fashioned, No. I like to make it a bit more funky and a bit more colourful and bright and just my kind of era, So maybe get in touch with magazines as well. That is one of my dreams, is to get into Molly Makes. So hello, Molly Makes, if you're listening.
Let's hope they are.
Love to do things like that. Get into magazines, do a book. I'd love to do that. I'm going to do some online workshops as well that will be available. It's just time at the moment. I've been so bogged down with orders since the show that I haven't stopped to breathe. It's only literally just calming down this week that I'm finally got on top with the orders. So it's now I'm heading towards Valentine's Day, so I'm bringing out a new range for Valentine's Day. So it's all the sort of seasons that I've got to get ready for. Someone's asked me about St. Patrick's Day and bringing out things like that. It's like, oh God. So I've got to plan for the year for all different types, because I do all like Mother's Day and like say St. Patrick's Day. There's so many different styles and types that I want to do, and I've got the opportunity to actually do now. And themes as well. It's like even TV themes, all sorts of things that I want to do that I've actually got the opportunity to actually do now. People didn't know about them before. So for like Game of Thrones, I brought out special ones for Game of Thrones. Nobody sort of were interested before. The second the TV show went, they sold instantly the next day. It's like, oh, straight away. It's like instantly. Some fans spotted them and bought them straight away. So, it's things like that now I can really sell and do, and all the thousands of ideas I've got in my head I can actually do now and really sort of bring out, and hopefully people will be interested. So there's lots and lots of things that are going to come out, but I am particularly aiming for a book. I really want to do that. I'm very excited about it. So that's my one big aim, I think. But hopefully people want to do workshops as well when we can. I think and people that do like to meet me. Weirdly, I don't know why they want to meet me, but they're all bonkers if they want to meet me. It's just me, Oh, guys, people have been in my shop when it was open. People have been in my shop and take photos of me. I'm like, but it's just me.
Yeah.
I'm just me. Yeah, people came in and said, "Oh my God, you're that woman on TV." I'm like, "Are you referring to Kirstie, really?" So no, I need to take a photo of you and show my daughter and my mum. Oh my God, it's you. And Jenny, my work colleague, was absolutely in stitches. She thought it was hilarious. And then someone came in and said, "Oh my God, your trophy's there. Can I take a photo of you with your trophy?" I'm like, okay. I find it so amusing. Literally, it's just me. So I'm nobody, really.
You're like a film star, though. Yeah. That's it. You've got a taste of what the Hollywood stars experience all the time.
Weird. It's weird. It's funny because Jenny was a director in TV, and she does know so many famous people. She did League of Gentlemen, and she knows Benedict Cumberbatch and people like that. So she thinks it's highly hilarious when people just want to take a photo of me. I'm a nobody.
Well, I loved speaking to Gini. We had such a giggle, and I actually recorded over an hour of material. It was such fun. Thank you, Gini, for taking the time to speak to me for Making Stitches. If you would like to find out more about Gini's work, I'll include links to her website and Instagram accounts in the show notes for this episode. You will have heard Gini speak about her friend Hayley, who she met while filming Kirstie's Handmade Christmas. Well, I'm thrilled to say that Hayley, or Dot as she's also known, is my guest for the very next episode of Making Stitches, which will be available in 2 weeks' time. Thank you very much for listening. If you've enjoyed this podcast and would consider leaving a review on your favourite podcast app, that would help other people find out about making stitches, and I'd be really grateful. Annie PG did just that on Apple Podcasts. She said she thoroughly enjoyed listening while attempting to master crochet patterns. Thank you for taking the time to do that, Annie PG, and for the 5-star rating too. So, as I said, I'll be back again in 2 weeks' time with another episode of Making Stitches for you. I look forward to speaking to you then. My name's Lindsay, and this podcast was recorded and edited by me. You can also find me on my blog, Postcard from Gibraltar. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep safe and enjoy your crafting.